Tonight on the Fanatic Forum, it's a special time of year. That's right, we're talking TV Christmas specials. What's our favorites? Let's remember some forgotten ones, all that sort of stuff. Plus, of course, I've got some new comics to share with you guys. But first, we got to get through a little bit of this. Hey, everybody. Oh, man, Johnny's out here, too. Hey, Johnny.
How you doing, George?
Sorry, you popped on the intro there, and I get a chance to remove you off here. So, surprise!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and officially welcome to the Fanatic Forum. I'm your Fanatic and host, George Buehler. And, of course, we have our first guest here making his Fanatic Forum debut, the prophet of pop culture himself, Mr. John Pica, purveyor of all things Cereal Box Network, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Multiverse. Hey there, friends and foes. Super happy to be here with George tonight on the Fanatic Forum.
And we have one other special guest tonight here, all the way from the Great White North, even though it's kind of looking like the Great White North right outside right now, I'm sure. But nonetheless, the Peppermint Princess herself, everyone's favorite Canadian co-host, Willow Schuyler. Hello, dear.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Oh, and we already have Dave Mattingly in here already. So saying Merry Christmas to George and to George a good night. Wait, am I going to sleep already? Good Lord. And it's a very Pica Christmas.
Pica Palooza 2022, baby.
That's right. Yeah, because if you guys don't already know, because if you don't know, you're not watching Back in the Cereal Box. That's a problem that we're going to have to talk about later on. Nonetheless, it's Johnny's birthday month, and there's a nice little festival at the end of the month that we all kind of celebrate with Johnny. So that's very nice. We give presents to each other.
Yeah, D. Barty's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, and Dave is shocked and amazed that this is the Fanatic debut. I know. Well, you're always busy on Friday nights with your ghost tours and everything else. So, see, now you're snowed in.
No, we're not snowed in, but the temperatures are dangerously low, single digits. And in Middle Tennessee, we don't get down to single digits very often, Willow. Unlike
hey, don't say that like it's my fault that you guys have gotten cold weather.
but no, it's dangerously cold. So everything was canceled tonight. Most businesses have closed early, and they're just sending people home. And look, nobody wants to get out and walk 1.5 to 2 miles around downtown Nashville in single-digit weather.
That's fair enough.
Especially the host of the tour.
Well, that's what you guys need, long underwear, long johns. And
listen, I wear 5 layers. 5 layers. And I'm still, this afternoon, I was like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty well around here. I think we got a little bit more snow and whatnot, but yeah, our governor called, did a whole state of emergency thing for Kentucky, and I was telling Willow earlier, it's like we haven't left the house all day. So, but we were actually we went to West Virginia to visit some of her family, and our trip was cut short, so we came back a day early. So just so we can, not be stranded in West Virginia I couldn't hang out with you guys.
I was telling George a few moments ago that Manitoba is pretty much like the only province right now not having like any extreme weather conditions. Meanwhile, like all of Canada is like, we're freezing over here and it's snowing. This is concerning. And Manitoba's like, this is normal. Yeah. -30 is normal.
So, Dave Mattingly, despite popular opinion, although I live in Nashville, Tennessee, I grew up in the frozen tundra of northeastern Ohio. And I moved to Tennessee to get out of the cold, out of lake effect snow.
Yeah, I would like to move further south, frankly. I mean, I don't know if I want to go to Florida. I mean, I like the weather there, but apparently there's a lot of crazy things there and people. So from what I've been told from people who have lived there, and to just watch the news. So anytime you hear about really strange crimes, you're waiting for, is he from Florida? Is he from Florida? Oh, he's from Florida. Yes.
Yeah. Just Google Florida man and the date. And you
I
will
don't know. I
find
feel
a
like
crazy story.
I feel like we need to do like a Florida man versus Winnipeg man, because some of the stuff that happens up here is like pretty nuts.
Oh, hey,
well, here in Middle Tennessee, it's Fairview man, which is where DeBarty lives. My co-host of Back of the Cereal Box.
Yeah, Dave's let us know a nice bit of big city kindness here as the sports arena is open to the homeless. That's wonderful.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, no, we've got a few homeless shelters downtown, but it's nice they got a larger place open too to take care of everybody. So, oh yeah, and if we don't already know, there actually is a Florida Man comic book. So,
I had no idea.
It's in its 3rd issue, I believe. So, yeah, American Mythology Productions puts it out, so it's pretty funny. So, and speaking, thank you for the segue there, Dave. So, I've got a few comics I want to show off this week here real quick. So,
new comics. Yum.
Yeah. Yum. Or last week it was huzzah. All right. So, I have been absolutely loving the Alien series here that Marvel's been putting out. So,
let's bring you to center screen there, George.
Yeah, there. Thank you. Yeah. So this has been the 2nd volume that Philip Kennedy Johnson has been writing for Marvel here. This one basically involves a military group called Steel Team, which they're all basically the cyborg synthetic sort of things, which is unusual because most time those are usually programmed to not kill, but this is a military team. And so they've been sent to a remote planet to get a certain, bioorganic sort of sample to bring back to their home base. But apparently the whole planet's kind of gone afoul, and we are actually seeing a very strange human-alien hybrid for the very first time by the end of this issue here. So things have gone pear-shaped very quickly. But yeah, I love the first volume, but this 2nd volume has been kicking off to a really, really good start. All right. That was my only Marvel pick for this week here. For DC here, got a couple. First off here, the 5th issue of Deceased War of the Undead Gods. Now, this is the final chapter in the Deceased saga, which is involved an anti-life equation going out and basically turning everybody into kind of like zombie sort of, characters. Not really zombie, but it's kind of like more like a 28 Days Later kind of thing. But of course, this is all brought on by Darkseid. In this final chapter here, we're basically dealing with the 4th world and all the New Gods characters and how most of them have been turned by this equation. Darkseid himself has been turned, and it's causing a lot of issues here. We're hopefully had a good, pick here of sending Superman and Mr. Mxyzptlk, who has decided to join the fight and, maybe turn the tide until we see Mr. Mxyzptlk get infected. And now we get to see the character who was originally thought to be a complete joke turn into probably one of the worst threats the DC universe has ever seen. So, a heck of a way to end that one. And speaking of endings here, the final issue of Dark Crisis here, labeled Dawn of the DCU. An interesting ending, especially to a Crisis storyline here. It kind of ends almost quietly. I mean, we have like a final conflict, but it sets up a lot more than it does wrap up as things go. We're doing a lot more launching of new things in the DC universe. We're getting some new creative teams. I know on Superman and Action Comics, we're seeing some new titles pop up. Interestingly enough, though it's the dawn of the DCU, it's kind of the death of the Justice League. They decide to not reform and maybe try something new and something different. And maybe the gentleman on the front cover might have a little something to do with that.
So George, this is my question.
Yeah.
So what is this, like the fourth or fifth DCU reboot?
Sixth, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole idea behind this one, though, is that, of course, they've had the rebirth, and a little bit of the New 52 was kind of, talked about in this one as well. But basically, both those reboots have essentially been kind of like tampered with by outer forces, and we find out essentially the outer forces that were doing that. And so while we've essentially had, actually, our last reboot was in Dark Knight's Death Metal. So that was the last reboot we had there. That kind of gave us what we call now the omniverse instead of the multiverse. So we have everything's included, sort of thing like that. But now apparently this is all corrected, and the multiverse has been healed, and maybe we'll be seeing kind of some old faces come back, some things that have rubbed fans the wrong way be fixed, and some new directions taken. So,
well, I will tell you this from what I've read, and I have not picked up that issue yet. My local comic book shop did not have Dawn of the DCU this week. They didn't have much of anything this week. That's a whole nother story. But Mark Waid and Jeff Johns are pretty much taking over to correct everything going forward. And I think that is a great move.
And a lot of that we're going to see kind of beginning with their kind of take on the JSA, because we had the new Golden Age one shot that came out, and then now we've seen the first issue of the JSA book, which is an intriguing beginning of that. So yeah, it's interesting. And Dave's saying the new Strange issue has some great Moon Knight gags in it. Yes, it does. Sadly enough, I think this particular Strange iteration is coming to a close. So there'll be kind of, Doc being fixed, kind of, everything being brought back to proper from there. We'll see. But there's a lot more Doctor Strange stuff coming up in the very, very near future, apparently. Just kind of what they teased in the book itself. Got a handful of indies here, some good stuff. I'll bring myself back up full screen here. From Boom Comics, the final issue of Stuff of Nightmares from R.L. Stine. This has been fun because this is kind of like setting up to be kind of an anthology book, kind of like a Tales from the Crypt sort of thing, but it's retelling stories we already know. So this was a retelling of The Reanimator that we know from, the independent films, also based off an H.P. Lovecraft story. This is the final issue of that, and this was just great madcap fun in here. Lots of, mad scientists, creatures created gone awry, sort of stuff like that. So absolutely love that series. Highly recommend checking out the issues of that.
I apparently have been missing out and didn't know R.L. Stine was doing comics now.
Yeah, he does some stuff from time to time. He's got another book that's been going on for a while called Just Beyond, which is kind of a more of a kind of Twilight Zone-y sort of anthology series as well.
And he did a series for Marvel just like within the last year. Did he do the Man-Thing specials?
Yeah, there was those 3-issue specials for X-Men and Avengers and I think Spider-Man or something like that. So yeah, he's been starting to get into comics recently. So I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Let's see, a couple more here to show off. The newest issue of Junkyard Joe from Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. This has been a really cool series, kind of a a character that was created in the 1960s and used during Vietnam, basically an automaton soldier, but now in the modern day, he has come about, and there's a bit of a conspiracy, bit of things going on there, but also you kind of see how PTSD affects soldiers, and then also kind of the world they've introduced is kind of fleshed out with some newer characters here as well. So I'm still very intrigued by this book. Kind of not what I thought it was going to be, but yeah, interesting to check out. The also fourth issue of Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's Vanish. This has been a really, really fun book. Basically, kind of like a Harry Potter revenge story, except the wizards that our character has been trying to take out have disguised themselves as superheroes. So we've got basically magic versus superheroes, and all in world this revenge story here. So in this issue, we basically find out that perhaps our lead character's revenge mission has been horribly misguided, and perhaps he's being used to basically bring about something much more terrible. So than having these other evil wizards.
I apologize, George, but I don't know a whole lot about that character in particular. But that book kind of reminds me of Michonne's character when you in The Walking Dead when you first meet her.
Oh, I know, yeah. This particular graphic, it basically kind of more harkens back to kind of a flashback sort of thing. This is basically one of the wizards that's featured in this issue, and I guess a couple of slave, people there he's taken captive, whatever else. And these are all the dead wizards that our good hero has been avenging here. But yeah, they said this is a brand new character that Donny Cates has created. So kind of a whole new universe he's sort of doing there. But yeah, interesting stuff and enjoying that. Going completely different direction here. Another Image book here, Hitomi by H.S. Tack and Isabella Mazzani. This is a gorgeous book here. We're seeing a little bit of this artwork here, but yeah, very much a Japanese, very old, sort of style here. But this is a samurai revenge tale that's become a very complicated story. Our young character Hitomi here, her parents and her whole village were slaughtered by a samurai army. The army was led by an African-American samurai who's obviously not from around there. She grows up basically on the path of revenge, meets him, and in the first issue, he basically saves her life, further complicating her path of revenge. So now she's posing as a student who is, basically, learning from him, but also, I guess, biding her time, so to speak. But in this third issue here, she learns a very complicated lesson on the many definitions of honor. So, yeah, if you're really into samurai stuff, highly recommend that book. Great writing in it, but gorgeous art as well. And last but not least here, I talked about the first issue of this book here. This is Chroma from Lorenzo De Felci. This is a 4-issue miniseries here. These are kind of oversized issues. The artwork is gorgeous. And this
I was just going to say that is beautiful artwork.
Yeah, and this is basically an indication of, the stuff inside here. So, yeah, kind of see it's, But yeah, this is a very interesting tale of basically a world that exists both without color and with it. And the side that lives without color fears the color side, thinking there's basically these, monsters and things trying to, destroy them and hurt them and whatever else. But our character of Chroma here finds out a bit more truth about the world that she's inhabited now that she's a bit free from her captors in the colorless world. So, yeah, just some very interesting stories. Still not entirely sure what's going on, but it's very much kind of a fantasy, a bit of a fairy tale sort of feel to this sort of thing there. But yeah, just absolutely love it. And of course, the new trend now with a lot of covers we're going to start seeing is negative space. That's being used again now as a bit of a trend there. So, and Dave Manley is saying that Vanish, that cover style looks like Boris Vallejo or Frank Frazetta. Yeah. Yeah, it does here. Yeah, very reminiscent of that, yeah. Yeah, there's a good reason this wizard character on the front cover here is bad news. So, Dave Bangley saying that Gilbert Gottfried's voice is Mr. Mitzelplick. Yes, that was great. Johnny, I think you're muted, Johnny.
Hey,
there you
Superman, it's the craziest thing. But look at this. What I can do. Look what I can do.
Oh, yeah, that was an inspired choice. So, rest in peace, Mr. Godfrey. All right, we're going to take a brief break here to recognize our sponsor, Comic Books for Kids, and we're going to be right back because we got some Christmas specials. It's a very special episode of the Fanatic Forum. You know, I don't have the little spinny logo thing there. So, so we'll be right back after this.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
All right, we are back, folks. Now,
hey, George, can I show off some new stuff?
Yes, you can. That's what I was going to bring up. Have you guys show off some stuff. So let's bring you up full here.
Well, you didn't mention this as one of your picks this week, but I think this is the best written series coming out from DC right now. And that is Mark Waid and Dan Mora's World's Finest.
Yeah.
And this series has been phenomenal. And at first, I thought it was a non-canon, out-of-universe story, like an alternate reality or Elseworlds kind of story, until the last frame. And they basically reveal a character that we've been following is going to become another character in the future. Have you read this issue, Dave?
I've not read that issue. I've read some. I think I've read like the first 4 or 5 issues of that. So I know they're dealing with a demon throughout most of the series in there that now has popped up in the Batman versus Robin miniseries, and then it also is going to be playing a part throughout the Lazarus Planet event coming up next year.
Well, they moved on from that, and there's a new storyline.
Oh, okay, cool.
Happening issues 6 through 4.
Okay,
but then I picked this book up and was blown away by at the quality of the story and the quality of the art, and especially for the price tag. Nightclub. Did you pick this up?
Yeah, I got that last week. Talked about it on the show. Yeah, that's a good issue.
$1.99.
I know.
Look, what is Image doing that they can do $1? And this is not like a mini book or a skinny book. This feels like it's got 32 pages. Of course, they don't number the pages anymore, but
yeah, you're right. It's a full size book. I don't know if Millar's got a special deal or what the thing is, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if the rest of the series is going to be priced that point, but you know what? $1.99 for good book there.
Alterna Press is doing it all the time. So now they're printing on actual newsprint, but still, $1.99. And
I'll at least give DC credit. Their Scooby-Doo book and like the Batman Nightwatch, the stuff that's geared for kids, those are at lower price points than your standard fare, but they lower it $1 or so.
Yeah. But that Nightclub book is phenomenal, and Spawn does not appear in it. It's a variant cover. And then I picked this up in trade paperback because I bought all of the individual issues, but I wanted to have it in trade paperback, and that is the Godzilla versus Power Rangers series. The whole collection. I absolutely love this. Cullen Bunn is one of my favorite writers, and the artwork on this is phenomenal, and it's Freddie Williams II. But here's the thing. his artwork, he draws, in my opinion, he draws Godzilla better than any other artist I've ever seen.
Oh, nice.
The Godzilla in this is phenomenal. And look, this is a great look at that. This is a great story. Super fun. I never liked the Power Rangers until I read this. And then, because I didn't like the TV show, but in comic book form, they read just like any other super team. And so I started reading some of the other stuff, the Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, and some of the Power Rangers stuff that Ryan Permison has recommended. And but this book,
wow,
the artwork on this is phenomenal. And Cullen Bunn is a fantastic writer, and he does a great job with this IP. It's one of my picks of the entire year.
Nice.
It was so good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
check those out.
That art looked really good. Like the fact that they actually have like the art that makes it look like it's glowing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the artwork on the Godzilla comic series has been, in my opinion, a little bit lacking.
Yeah.
And this is fantastic.
Yeah, with what they're doing with digital art, it's crazy the kind of stuff they can get away with. So, matter of fact, to pique your interest, Johnny, I know I think it's coming out next week, but there is a Ninja Turtles Power Rangers sequel.
Yes.
So that's starting next week, and then coming very, very soon. Not sure if it's next week or going to be after the first of the year. But there's a spinoff coming from The Last Ronin called The Lost Years. So I guess it's kind of
that.
Yeah, it's like a between the cracks sort of thing. So
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know that I want to know that story, because I liked The Last Ronin and the mystery of that story so much. There's part of me that's like, I don't need to know the rest of the details. I want it to be in my memory the way I like it.
yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, there was a lot of fans who are wanting more, so you're getting more. So we'll see how it works out. So sometimes too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. So yeah, we will see. So, all right, Willa, do you have anything you want to show off?
I actually picked up a pretty cool puzzle. It's not sorry, I haven't walked into a comic book store in a while, and the coffee shop near my house, it allows local artists to show off their work. And Johnny,
that is cool.
I need to have these guys on Cryptid Crunch.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That art's very reminiscent of like the old Heavy Metal magazine kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they have their own cryptid podcast as well, the Cryptonaut podcast. So I'm definitely gonna
to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're on my listening list.
So yeah, the art was by Rob Morphy, and you can find him at the cryptonautpodcast.com and rodmorphy.com. So yeah, I'm excited to connect with those guys, with him, and listen to his show and find out more about them.
Nice. And Dave approves your puzzle there. So oh, and Miss Keisha is on here. Hello, dear. Good to see you. Have her bundle of joy coming in the very near future. So that's wonderful. Let's see here. Oh, Dave's comment on your stuff on the world's finest. So Todd Turner gave the final panel for this week's World's Finest. Okay, interesting. So of Mosaic fan art, yeah. I haven't seen him pop up in a while. And then he said that the Ninja Turtle Batman crossover animated movie was his favorite DC thing ever. So I need to see that. I keep hearing that was awesome. So
I watched that, George, and I don't remember anything that happened. I need to see it again. I just don't remember. I watched it. I own it.
Well, that may
Sorry,
be
Dave.
causing a bigger, do you smell almonds, Johnny?
No.
Are you okay? I say the last thing I just binged recently is I finally got caught up on Cobra Kai, so I'm all caught up now, and I'm waiting on the new season to arrive, whatever that will be. So, yeah, I love the ridiculousness of that show.
Yeah, I'm almost I'm to the current episode of Willow. Can't wait for episode 6. I don't know how they're going to wrap this all up in one more episode.
My wife and I actually need to start that because that's one she wants to watch with me, and we've been watching basically Christmas stuff kind of a lot, together. So, we have not got to start that. So I've heard mixed things, but I don't care. The people who are kind of hating on it didn't seem to be fans of Willow in the first place. It's like, okay, you kind of had to be a fan of the stuff to like it. So.
I loved Willow. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and I mean, still today, I love it. And this show is a great continuation of the story.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. So like I said, today we binged a whole bunch of Christmas stuff. So we watched Scrooge, one of our favorites there.
Nice.
I'm not the world's biggest Christmas fan, but I like watching Christmas movies and TV shows. Go figure.
Yep.
Yeah. But then let's see, what else do we do here? Oh, we also did Lethal Weapon, because that's a Christmas movie.
Of course. Did you do Batman Returns?
No, I have not done Batman Returns yet. Usually my two kind of, I guess off the wall sort of picks are usually like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon. So like we've been on a Die Hard kick for the past couple of years. So like, let's give Die Hard a rest this year and go back to Lethal Weapon, give it some love. So, but no, I have not watched Batman Returns just yet.
Gremlins?
No, we need to get around to
Gremlins.
Yes, I haven't seen Gremlins in a couple of years around Christmas time, so we need to fix that one. That's on our list.
The second one's much better than the first one, but yes.
But the first one's a Christmas movie.
Wait, what are you talking about, Willow? The second one is good, but it's not better. Are you serious? Willow.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, whether they are entirely wrong or not. But they're entitled to it.
I kind of wish that they I wish that they would do another Gremlins movie, but fix some of the plot holes that they kind of missed in the first two. Yes, you guys are all looking at me a little weird because yes, there is a major plot hole when it comes to the Gremlins.
What is it?
When they say not to feed them after midnight, how far after midnight can you start feeding them?
Oh, and it's midnight somewhere. I mean, midnight here is not midnight.
And they say don't get them wet, but one of them drowns themselves in Slurpee in the Slurpee machine.
Well, that's after he transformed, though.
Okay.
And he would have. I mean, you're not supposed to get water on them, so it could just be pure water is what activates their reproduction. So,
but I mean, the majority of liquids are made with water.
I don't know.
Sorry, George.
George must be having internet problems. Here in the South, where George and I are, it is very cold, and there are several cities that are doing rolling blackouts. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're familiar with that in Winnipeg. You have rolling blackouts from time to time. It is
once in a while when the wires touch.
It is very uncommon here. But because it is so cold, they're concerned about the electric grid getting over, too stressed out. And so every 90 minutes, they're doing a blackout for 10 minutes.
Oh.
But it's rolling. So he might be in the middle of one of those 10-minute segments in his area.
Huh.
It's being managed by the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, which George is a little bit north, but
Yeah.
Elizabethtown, Kentucky may be part of the TVA. Not the Time Variance Authority, the Tennessee Valley Authority.
Good to know.
Yes. A little bit of history there for you.
All right, Johnny, what other Christmas movies or specials do you like
So
watching?
George wanted us to talk about our favorite Christmas specials, and after the show, we're going to go watch a couple of them. Every year we have our traditions. Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, which was my childhood. Basically, that movie is about my childhood experience growing up in northeastern Ohio. And so we watch that every year, along with the Muppets Christmas Carol, White Christmas, and also some specials, TV specials. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is one of my all-time favorites. It's,
Okay.
The origin of Santa Claus, with the white wizard, the warlock, just put one foot in front of the other. Soon you'll be walking across the floor. Love that. And then the sequel to that basically is The Year Without a Santa Claus, which introduced us to I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. That whole the Heat Miser, Cold Miser brothers, the Miser brothers. And those are our two big, marquee Christmas specials that we always watch every year.
Yeah.
Then we'll scatter them with some others, like Charlie Brown's Christmas, and my daughter loves Mickey's Christmas Carol. Muppets Christmas Carol is our favorite version of the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
That will be tomorrow night, Christmas Eve. But
I think that's like the majority of people who like that version anyway. But there's Scrooged, which is one of my favorite versions of that story, and then Muppets Christmas Carol is also a good one.
Now I have not seen Spirited yet.
No. Okay, I haven't seen it yet either. So
it's on my list. We'll see. One of my favorite, more contemporary Christmas movies is the Christmas Chronicles. With
yes.
With Kurt
Russell. There we go. Yeah.
Playing Santa Claus. Great version of Santa Claus too.
Yeah, my husband wants that suit. I have to find someone who can make it.
Yeah, so Dave Mattingly points out that Iron Man 3 can be considered a Christmas movie. It happens at Christmas. For those of you who are looking for, holiday, like geek Christmas, comic book Christmas stuff, of course, we have the new Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. And Hawkeye, the Disney Plus TV series, takes place at Christmas. It's all about him, Hawkeye, trying to get home to be with his family for Christmas. And really, really good. So George has still not returned. I'm a little bit worried. He's probably panicking right now. And I don't have access to Messenger.
I'm keeping tabs on. I'll.
Oh wait!
Send him. Oh.
Is that him?
Live.
George, George, you might have to join without video, just audio only. I mean, he's there. George, Buehler. Problems in the studio. So Christmas specials for you, Willow. What is like your tradition?
Okay, I'm not traditionally known to watch Christmas specials, although I will, like, when I go see my in-laws, I'll watch whatever my mother-in-law is watching. Some of the great ones that I remember watching with my grandparents when I was a kid, Miracle on 34th Street is always a good one, like the classic black and white. Yes, I know there was a colored one, but the black and white one, I don't know, for some reason I always was drawn to the black and white one. White Christmas is another one. And then Scrooged and Christmas Carol. And then most recently, hey, you're alive!
Oh, but we have no sound from you, George. Are you muted? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hit your settings and reconnect your audio. Willow, take him out while he gets to figure that out, so we can watch him struggle. Oh, wait, maybe he figured it out. Did he figure it out? We'll find out in just a minute. Down below at the bottom, George, you have settings. And if you want to click on your audio settings, you can assign your microphone. Nope.
We're just gonna pantomime this whole episode.
George, log out, log back in. We got you covered. Hey, we got somebody in the audience. We've just taken over the Fanatic Forum. Ryan Permison says, hello, everyone. Hello, Ryan. And Ryan said the storm in the Northeast have knocked out power, so he's stuck in a hotel room now.
Oh, my.
Wait. Were you traveling, Ryan, or did you just decide to go to a hotel room because you had no power at home, but the hotel did because they have backup generators and all that? I need to hear the story. What happened was, fill us in. And Ryan also says Muppets favorites are Muppet Christmas Carol and Charlie Brown Christmas, among others. And Dave Mattingly brings up the Claymation Christmas special.
Oh.
I don't know if I am familiar with this.
I know, like, there's like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and the Frosty the Snowman.
Well, those are stop motion with models, but claymation is, I don't know. Golly, there was the California Raisins were done with clay, and then there was a movie about Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, that was done entirely with claymation. Horrible movie, by the way. But
hello?
Hey, we're alive! It lives!
Technology, I tell you what.
So we were talking while you were gone, George, about the rolling blackouts that are happening throughout the Southeast, and that's probably, I'm guessing, you were a victim of that just now.
No, actually, Dave's correct. I was preparing an interpretive dance. Oh, Lord. All right.
But wait, can we just acknowledge this for a minute? We use StreamYard for the Serial Box Network. And how awesome is it that you, the host, got disconnected, bumped out, but the broadcast kept rolling. And I love that feature with StreamYard, that, the show can go on.
It can. So
even in the
thank
middle
you
of
all
a
for
crisis.
carrying on as well.
No problem.
This would have been really awkward if I had been sober.
It's almost like we're pros at this by now.
I know, right? Oh, well,
Well, you missed the story that Ryan Permison just shared with us. He's in a hotel tonight because the power
oh,
got knocked out, so we went to a local hotel for the night. Yeah, so that's what I figured, Ryan, because hotels have backup generators and all of that stuff. So even when your residential power goes out, a lot of times a hotel, police, fire departments, they're going to have electricity.
yeah,
So-
exactly. Yeah, and matter of fact, when I was still working in the news business, whatnot, our go-to kind of like when we knew there was going to be inclement weather coming in, we ended up staying overnight at, some hotels in the area, whatnot. So we know we would be like right around the corner from the station to do there. So there you go. So, well, I had some, of course, some specials that are near and dear to my heart as well. And of course, I know, Willow, you'd mentioned some Muppet stuff, and I actually have two Muppets specials on my list here. So, but first off, we very much have to acknowledge the actual holiday that is today. Happy Festivus! That's right. I got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it. That was another thing we binged today too. Is made sure to get our Festivus episode in. So, and also watch the Merv Griffin set episode as well right after that. So,
my favorite part of Festivus is the feats of strength.
Festivus doesn't end until you pin me, Georgie. Yeah, good stuff.
Your family is cuckoo.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta work here. This holiday's kind of. But yes, had to of course acknowledge. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, yeah. Dave is saying next the feats of strength. Ryan's also passing on the. Yep. His list of grievances is very long this year. Apparently, with his local power company there in Maryland. So there you go. There's one.
I've already aired my grievance when it came to my family earlier, so
I'm doing okay. I don't really have too much to fret about, so I'm doing all right.
Willow has had at least 3 grievances in the last 2 months that have been pretty big deals. One with 2 with former employers. And today you posted about your holiday grievances with your family.
It's not the holidays without the yearly fight with the family and the swearing that I will never see them again.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
It happens, and I'm trying not to be so forgiving when it comes to them, but because it's time for them to grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family. You gotta love them. Well, not
I got
really.
2 older sisters, and they act like children.
Well, Willow, if you would just do what they tell you to do, everything would be fine.
It's as simple as that.
And that's how the narcissist win.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah. Again.
Ryan, I've adopted you a long time ago as my brother, and that
Oh, Ryan, we'll always love you mostly. Ryan's love comes with
conditions.
I would love to hear Ryan's list of grievances. Actually, he says it's long. I'm Ryan. Post your whole list in the comments.
Yeah, let's
We'll
see here.
if it all fit on the screen.
Well, I'm sure right now it's the power company.
Yeah. So, there you go. Yeah, you are brother and sisters. There you go.
Well, it's funny because our birthdays are a day apart from each other, and I'm older, but it's funny. It's like we get to celebrate our birthdays one after the other. So
I love
George, you mentioned that you've got 2 Muppet Christmas specials that you love, and I'm pretty sure I can guess one of them. Now, and if it's outside of the Muppets Christmas Carol, I know exactly what 2 they are.
Well, I don't count the Muppets Christmas special, Christmas Carol, since that was actually a film and that was released in
Okay.
theaters.
Okay.
So, but definitely number one would be the John Denver and the Muppets Christmas Together.
Yep. And I'm guessing the second one is Emmett Otter's Jug Band.
Actually, it's not. That would probably be number three for the Jim Henson Christmas specials. Number two would be one I actually forgot about up until recently. I was reminded of this one here. And you want to talk multiverse crossovers here, folks. I offer you a Muppet Family Christmas. This came out in 1987. It was a TV special sponsored by Oshkosh Pragosh. And this featured the Muppets, the Sesame Street Gang, the cast of Fraggle Rock, and the Muppet Babies. This was the second appearance of the Muppet Babies, first being in the Muppets Take Manhattan film. Before
Muppet Babies.
Yeah, and before the cartoon was launched. So, but the whole plot is basically Fozzie and the gang are going to Fozzie's mom's house in the country to celebrate Christmas. But unfortunately, she's on her way to like Malibu, and so they kind of literally stop her at the door. She's like, "I took 3 months of surfing lessons for nothing." But the cast of characters keeps getting larger and larger. Like the Sesame Street gang are out caroling, and they come in, and then she's got a Fraggle hole in her basement, and so that's where the Fraggles show up. And of course, Doc and Sprocket show up because Doc was renting the house from her for the holidays to get away from everything. And now he's got all these Muppets and such in here with him. So, yeah.
I love that. I saw that when it first aired on TV, and I haven't seen it since. And I had forgotten about it until you posted about it earlier this week.
Yeah.
And now I want to see it. Where is it available on video anywhere? Streaming?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
So Ryan's saying you got to see it. So matter of fact, there's someone who posted the special on YouTube with it was the actual airing in his local area. So it actually has the commercials and then a lot of vintage holiday commercials in there as well.
Holy crap.
I love that.
It's absolutely perfect viewing. And I kind of got down this rabbit hole that same day, and there was another thing I found, which was somebody posted a whole bunch of like vintage 80s commercials in an hour and a half clip, but the clip ends with the Dick Clark New Year's Eve ball drop going into 1985. So if you want to watch like an hour's worth of commercials, and change, and then get a Dick Clark thing at the end, if you want to watch for New Year's Eve from 1985, there you go.
Good to know.
Now, the tragedy of that Muppets Family Christmas special is that it could never happen again because Disney owns Jim Henson's The Muppets and the Muppets Creature Shop, but Fraggle Rock is owned by Paramount, I believe.
Yeah.
And Sesame Street is still owned by the Sesame Street Children's Television Network.
Children's Television,
yeah. So there's Henson Studios was basically broken up and sold off into different pieces after Jim Henson's death.
Yeah. And of course, it does bring up the emotions. It does well up the emotions at the end because they're doing at the end of the special, they're doing a big carol sing, and the last song they do is the "It's in Every One of Us" from the John Denver special. So they bring that one back, and then as they're singing, they take a shot in the kitchen, and who's doing the dishes? Jim Henson. And that was literally his last appearance before he passed away. Because again, this was in '87.
Yeah, so, he died May 16th, 1990.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I remember the date because it's the same date that Sammy Davis Jr. died. And a lot of people don't know this, but Jim Henson was a hero of mine. Everything I know about putting together a live show, I learned from watching The Muppet Show. And, I consider Jim Henson the greatest magician who ever lived because he created life. Those characters were real. And not only did he do that, but he created something for every generation. When I was a kid, when we sat down as a family, a multi-generation family on Sunday nights to watch the Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
It bridged the gap. I mean, it was an amazing thing. And when we lost him in 1990, to me, it was a personal tragedy.
Yeah, we were definitely much more a Muppets family growing up than we were Disney. My sister definitely kind of brought the Disney stuff. And to kind of later on, but yeah, like I watched the Muppets when I was a little kid when it was still airing on TV, and then the movies when they would come out, we would still go to the theaters and see those. Freckle Rock was a big deal. The Emmett Otter Jug Band, the Rabbit's Easter special, if you guys remember that one. So yeah, it was like I can't remember, it was like the Great Bunny Picnic or something like that. It was.
Well, Emmett Otter's Jug Band, if you guys have never seen it, it is on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You can stream it. And it's funny because it's a great story. It's so heartwarming. It's so authentic, but it was very experimental. You saw Jim Henson experimenting with different types of puppetry in that special, marionettes and animatronics. And in some places, it kind of shows that they were experimenting. But overall, it's a fantastic story.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it is a good one. The music is great. It's of course, that was the nice thing with a lot of Jim Henson stuff is that it always came with good songs as well. But I think some of the strongest music came from the Emmett Otter.
Well, and that music was written by one of the Muppets. He's an honorary Muppet, one of the only humans to be an honorary Muppet, Paul Williams. Paul Williams wrote all of the music for the Muppet movie, Muppets Take Manhattan, and The Great Muppet Caper, and then he wrote the music for Emmett Otter's too. And so him and John Denver were the first two honorary Muppets.
Yeah.
And you can actually do a lookup of honorary Muppets.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope one day to be an honorary Muppet in some way, shape, or form.
You are a Muppet.
Thank
There's
you.
no honorary about it.
Waka, waka, waka. Yeah, Dave's saying that the Muppet Family Christmas special is not nearly as weird as Big Bird's Don't Eat the Pictures. Yeah, that is kind of odd. I haven't seen that one in a really long time.
I've never even heard
I've
of that.
never heard of that.
Yeah, it didn't get a lot of airings. Yeah, because Sesame Street didn't have many theatrical sort of stuff. They had the movie, the Follow That Bird movie, and I think you've had some like straight video stuff later on. But yeah, Follow That Bird had some funny stuff in there too. I remember Chevy Chase mispronouncing. He was a newscaster and he was talking about Sesame Street. So it's a reference I bring up from time to time. No one ever gets it, and that's fine by me. Let's see. Oh, Dave's saying that when Jim Henson died, he wore a green armband. Nice. Yeah. So, yeah, Jim definitely played a big part in our family's history. But another character that also played a big part in my family growing up, definitely a lot of my dad's influence with this one here, old Garfield. We celebrated Garfield, read it every Sunday morning and weekday on the strips, and got the collections. And anytime a TV special would come out here, it was everybody's around the TV watching here, and so the Garfield Christmas one that's a nice one there.
So George, I was never a big Garfield fan. Mm-hmm. I read the Sunday comics because it was there.
Yeah,
I was always more of a Heathcliff fan.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so I never watched the Saturday morning animated series with Garfield. However, I saw clips from this Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
I was blown away by the quality of the animation.
Yeah.
The animation was flawless. It's hand-drawn animation, but it is so good it looks like CGI.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievably good.
Yeah, that was the thing too. Is I guess because it was Garfield had a big fan base anyway. They could put a lot of money into these specials because there was like I think 4 of them they had because there was the Halloween one, there's a Thanksgiving special, and there was like a summer one where they go to some Hawaiian island or whatever else, and there's a volcano, and the chief talks like Wolfman Jack, and they worship basically a Fonz-like god sort of thing like that. So it's it's a goofy one, but yeah. Of course, I also enjoyed it as well because being one of those kind of weird kids that got into like soul and R&B kind of early, and blues stuff like that. Lou Rawls doing all the music was like, hey, I know that guy.
So, did you know? I know you didn't know this, so I'm gonna let you know that when I was an A&R director for Malico Records, I signed Lou Rawls to a record deal to do a gospel album with us.
That's cool.
Holy
crap. Yeah, nice. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah. Pat yourself on the back for that one there.
Tanked. The album tanked. It did not sell at all, but
doesn't matter. You could say I signed Lou Rawls to a record deal.
I did. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, okay, they didn't sell. Doesn't matter. Still did it. So, gotta bring up one one I revisit from time to time, mostly due to the infamous nature of this particular Christmas special. And I'm talking about the old Star Wars holiday.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, and I love this vintage ad here. So it's 8 p.m. on CBS 5, 12, and 22. So whatever channel of CBS you happen to be getting on there. So with special guest stars Beatrice Arthur, Art Carney, Diane Carroll, the Jefferson Starship, and Harvey Korman. Because nothing says intergalactic fun like Harvey Korman.
So, I remember as a kid loving that holiday special. Of course, you only saw it if you saw it that one time. Yeah. But I remembered loving it. And it's kind of like another special that only aired one time, and that was the Legend of the Superheroes. But so bad, but I remember it so fondly.
Oh God, is it terrible?
Now that bootlegs and YouTube exists, and I've been able to go back and watch the Star Wars Holiday Special, I understand what a travesty it really was, why it only aired once and was locked away forever. But there are some good things that came out of that, like Boba Fett.
Then that would be the one thing, yes.
That animated short is viewable now on Disney Plus. You can watch it, and it's considered now in canon.
Yep.
But what that show really needs is a good fan edit, and it needs to be edited down to maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Because listen, B. Arthur was actually really great as the barkeeper. She was really great. But the whole thing with Chewbacca's dad watching internet porn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, see, as a child watching this special, because I remember when it aired, I was like 3, but I remember it airing because I'd seen Star Wars by this point. And I was very confused by the beginning of this movie because I'm like, oh, okay, there's some Wookiees. No one's speaking English for like the first
subtitles.
For the first 15 minutes of the show, no one's speaking English. It's all just until you get Uncle Fuzzy or whatever, sitting down in his chair and watching Diane Carroll dance around and sing, and you're like, what is he doing? And then,
but you remember it was a VR headset. Basically, this holiday special was prophetic because it was basically him watching HoloNet, internet porn on a VR headset. And you remember, complete with the moaning and groaning.
And then after you're done with your naughty business, you go and watch a Starship video. And unfortunately, this is like a later version of Starship before Grace Slick got back in the band and started doing all the hits in the 80s. So this is that period like, okay, they had their hit with Jane with this iteration, and then they didn't have any more hits for like another like 5 to 7 years. And this was in that period of time where they had no hits and no one was buying their records. So they didn't.
I know that like cocaine was like their main fuel for this.
That was everybody's fuel.
I mean, like definitely, like THC infused as well, or something.
Well, so this is interesting, Willow, because you really see how unique the original Star Wars trilogy was for George Lucas, because outside of his collaboration with Steven Spielberg in Raiders of the Lost Ark, everything else George Lucas did was pretty much horrible.
Except for American Graffiti.
But that was with Steven Spielberg too. That was a collaboration.
Yeah.
Was that? I thought that was all. That was all him.
Yeah.
No, he had and Kasdan was involved in that, and when Lawrence Kasdan was involved, things worked well.
Yeah, i.e., Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, but on his own, George Lucas's his track record is not really great. I give you Radio.
Jar Jar Binks.
Well, I actually love Jar Jar Binks, and I'll die on that hill. But no, I present the Radio Murders of 1940 something. I present Howard the Duck. I present Red Tails. Red Tails should have been a killer movie, and there are killer aspects of it. But as a film, and the holiday special was the same way. There were some really cool moments, some great ideas, like the idea of Life Day. That was kind of cool.
And that's popped back up in the comics.
Fisher sang.
And Life Day's popped back up in the comics, so they want to keep some aspects of this thing canon. But yeah, it's like it's a bunch of like 70s stars that appear on Love Boat and stuff all the time. So there's a lot of people used to doing TV stuff. No one understood what the heck was going on in this thing here. It just it's.
I mean, we've had Pee-wee's Playhouse when I was a kid, so.
But Pee-wee's Playhouse was a train wreck that was on purpose directed.
Yes.
It was supposed to be that way, and it worked because it was supposed to be that way. This was supposed to be something good.
Yeah, this was a serious Star Wars property.
Yeah, I mean, you brought the entire cast, with the exception of Alec Guinness, because he was dead, not in real life at this point, but his character Ben Kenobi. So the four. There were sort of the three, human leads and Chewbacca and the droids, they're all in this. I mean, even friggin' Harrison Ford is in this thing. And you're like, so this was supposed to be a big deal.
Now, really though, George, the Star Wars holiday special that is pure gold is the German Star Wars musical with Mark Hamill playing Luke Skywalker, singing in German.
Interesting.
But not in the Luke Skywalker costume, in a gold lame jumpsuit. Oh, George.
I'm going to have to do a dive on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear he released the image of that costume on one of his social media platforms.
I believe you're correct, Willow. Yeah.
I'm positive I saw it.
Wait a minute. Ryan Permison. Star Wars Holiday Special. There is not one I am aware of.
I believe he's trying to forget that it exists.
Oh, I get you. Well, for a really good one, watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yes. I agree. All those Lego specials, the Summer Beach one is really fun too, and the Halloween one. So yeah, those are great. And if you guys haven't got around to the Guardians Christmas special, I highly recommend that one. There's some subtle Star Wars holiday special references in there. And, of course, they also have an animated segment.
There are some subtle references and some not so subtle references.
Yes, that is true.
Now, Dave Mattingly says something interesting. He says, I'm okay with Howard the Duck. I am too, Dave. However, we have to agree it is not George Lucas's best work. However, I love that movie because
I loved it
Leia
Thompson in her underwear.
She is very good looking in that film.
And Tim Robbins. I mean, come on. The whole cast is stellar. And it's such a it's so bad, it's brilliant.
I agree. Oh, and Dave's done us a solid here, giving us the link to LeMay Skywalker singing in German. Thank you, Dave. So there you go, folks. After the show, hop on the link there and see some. You want to just European TV for me is just a treasure trove of just glorious stuff. And it's not like going backwards. They still do really what we would consider like kitschy kind of stuff. So.
Well, and I could never figure out, and to my knowledge, he's never spoken about this. How Mark Hamill, who, when you see him in interviews, he's very serious about the character of Luke Skywalker and the integrity of preserving the character. How in the world did he ever agree to do this German special? And I'm sure it is unlicensed because none of the costumes are movie accurate costumes. The stormtroopers are women, and it's just, you got to see it. That's all I got to say.
Well, I mean, of course, this was also done between Star Wars and Empire, so it may have been that, as like some of these in between projects they would do. Well, of course, he appeared on the Muppets as well, and it would, he was Luke Skywalker and Mark Hamill both.
But that was an intentional marketing appearance.
Right. Yeah.
There's no way this German special was licensed, authorized by Lucasfilm. No way.
Now, was that before they decided to go rather picky on, where their stuff appears?
No, George was always picky. George Lucas was always very protective of the brand. Now,
so he must have got promised something somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, hey, George, one of the things that you have not talked about, one of the specials we've not talked about, is that masterpiece animated movie based on the hit song "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer." I mean, that's like Emmy worthy TV right there.
Isn't that a more recent one too? Like they did that one like in the 90s or 2000s?
It was in the 90s.
Yeah.
I love.
Well, I don't have much of an opinion on that one. The song I find amusing from time to time. But if you really want to talk an infamous Christmas classic, a more recent one here, I bring you the infamous South Park episode that introduced us to Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh. That's right. Yeah. He loves me. I love you. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
South Park had themselves some amazing Christmas episodes. I'm also a big fan of Merry Christmas, Charlie Manson, which was the following year's Christmas special. But it's kind of South Park and Christmas are very much in sync because if you remember, the whole genesis of South Park was basically a video Christmas card that someone sent, and basically was it George Clooney, I think, ended up getting a hold of it, and he's the one that kind of helped getting the ball rolling with these Parker and Stone guys. But basically, it was a fight between Santa and Jesus, and of course, the South Park boys are commenting on it and whatever else. But yeah, so South Park has had some very infamous Christmas special episodes, and then of course they link them all together in one big compilation, and they've done a Christmas album, which, if you've not listened to the glory of the song Swiss Colony Beef Log that Cartman sings about the joy of the Swiss Colony treats, the seasoned, beef logs, everything like that, just singing about the glory of the treats of Swiss Colony, you got to check that one out.
Oh,
Or maybe even Mr. Garrison wishing people from different cultures Merry Christmas in his own unique, not safe for work way. So, yeah.
come on. Cartman singing Oh Holy Night.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. Brings a tear to my eye every time.
So I love this conversation, and my family is beckoning to. Speaking of Christmas specials, they're saying, "Johnny, it's time to watch
Yeah.
Year Without a Santa Claus." So I got to bolt. I got.
You know
to
what? It is. I think we are about time to wrap it up here because we've gone an hour and 15. Of course, I was out of the picture for a little bit because I have my internet troubles.
That's all right. You listen. It's your show, George. You do what you want to do. You make it as long or as short as you want to make it. But I got to go. And you guys have been awesome. This has been a ton of fun.
No problem.
And I want to wish everyone out there just have a great, great Merry Christmas. And as Dave Mattingly says, just put one foot in front of the other. And I'm going to head out the door and up the stairs, and we will catch you on the back of the cereal box.
See you, Johnny. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas. Willow, knock me out because I can't get out.
Oh, okay,
Oh, hang on. I got you. He's gone. All right, Johnny's out of here. See, Dave's comment there, the 1 foot in front of the other, that makes me think of the Revenge of the Nerds.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the montage of them cleaning the household. So, but completely different song, but yeah. So, did we get to all your favorite Christmas TV show picks?
We've touched on all of them. I mean, like, there's, Dolly Parton will always be like attached to Christmas in for me anyway. And like,
yeah.
I do enjoy her Christmas specials.
That
she come out with, and just I don't know, just I love her music. I love Dolly.
Yeah.
And I know like a lot of people have an issue with the Hallmark stuff, but sometimes I do. I'll put one on just to have something in the background going.
Yeah. Have you delved at all into the Christmas Prince series that's on Netflix?
Not yet.
I keep hearing like buddy of mine, Brian Renfro, who does Movie Meltdown, which if you want to get a good Christmas episode, listen to the one he and I did last year about weird Christmas movies. I go off on a tangent on Santa Claus Meets the Ice Cream Bunny, which I could do a whole episode talking about that movie. But he talked a lot about this whole, like, there's, I think, about 3 movies, maybe more now. But it's Rose McIver is in them, is the lead in them. And she, like, kind of, goes off to a foreign land and meets a, dude. And he's, but it's like these, become this, like, whole movement now of, like, these huge fans that follow this whole series and watch them multiple times. That's why they keep making them. And so, yeah. So,
well, the funny thing about the Hallmark movies is a lot of them are filmed here in my city, and I swear if I don't have a job by the time this time next year, I'll probably be in one.
they film a lot.
Cash.
They film a lot in Kentucky too. So they. When they want to do like some nice country aspects or whatever else, they shoot around in this area too. Apparently, Ethan Hawke is in town, going to be shooting something. I don't know what, but
oh wow,
So Ethan Hawke's going to be in Louisville, or already is, or in the Louisville area, shooting a movie. So there you go.
Huh.
Apparently, his daughter Maya has been spotted around town too. So.
Well, we had Woody Harrelson in my city for a while there filming. So I don't know. There's something's going to come up.
That's pretty cool. Oh, we were talking about Star Wars earlier. Ryan letting us know that Return of the Jedi turns 40 next year. Zoinks. Oh, Ethan Hawke's working on some new Moon Knight. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Oh, well, I think I'm going to wrap things up here because, I think we've got maybe try to get another Christmas movie in tonight here. So I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't got around to seeing the new Christmas Story Christmas.
I was just gonna say, like, have
No.
you? It took me up until like just recently to know that Zach Ward was the bully in the in the Christmas Story, and I mean, like, I love that actor. Like, he played Christopher Titus's brother, and I was watching their podcast the other day, and I'm like, seriously, how did I not know that he was the bully?
I got a kick out of him in 28 Weeks Later as a soldier, popping up, just looking all badass and whatever else. I'm like, Scott Fergus. I've got around to checking this one out, so yeah, I'll have to do that. And but yeah, there's, you know, of course, one of our other favorite Christmas movies, praising a fellow Canadian, is Ryan Reynolds' Just Friends. So
yes, yes, great movie.
That's a movie, folks. Like, if you haven't seen that one, it's an older film of his, but it's he and Anna Faris are the leads in that. It's a scream. Oh my god. So yeah, that's an awesome one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a couple of the, you know, the cheesy, you know, Christmas movies we've already watched. For some reason, we love watching Christmas with the Cranks. It's a terrible movie, but, you know, just as much as I love Jingle All the Way. Again,
you know, for those who don't like watching the Hallmark movies, they like some of these family other movies are hilarious. Home for the Holidays is a good one.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's bad, but it's one of my favorite bad holiday movies.
Yeah, like I said, it's gotten to the point now there's something out there for everybody. And the fun thing is that there's even, like, you know, if you want weird, strange Christmas movies, you know, horror Christmas movies, whatever else. I mean, you got, you know, Black Christmas has, you know, the original, which I always recommend checking that one out. And it's, what, 3 remakes?
Mm-hmm.
Which they progressively get worse, so I wouldn't bother with any of them. And then, of course, you've got the Silent Night, Deadly Night series, which I really only recommend checking out the first 2. Which the second one is really funny because it's the ultimate exercise in complete filmmaking laziness. I think they shot like 20 minutes of a new movie and then just recap the original. And it wasn't like in the scenes of people like doing exposition. Literally, they were showing you. So, like, if you didn't watch the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, just watch 2, and it's like watching 2 movies at once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, there's all kinds. One that's kind of considered a weird Christmas movie, but, you know, is actually a decent film. Is called Christmas Evil. I think the original title was You Better Watch Out, but it's been one of those movies that keeps getting. It was a low budget retitling movie. Basically, a fella who had a Christmas fetish grows up, works in a toy factory, sort of thing like that. Has himself a bit of an episode and basically sees himself as Santa Claus, glues a beard on, sort of thing like that, going around wearing a suit, and has his own list of naughty and nice children. And while you think, oh my God, he's going to kill kids. No. Like, the naughty kids get a sack of dirt, you know. But then when there's naughty adults, on the other hand, that's where the murder comes in. But really, for a kind of a slasher, horror-ish kind of movie, only like 3 people get killed.
Oh, okay.
So there's not a lot of it. It's just more of this weird guy and his kind of like journey to darkness sort of thing like that. So, but it's interesting. But usually you can find that on YouTube or some of the free sites and whatever else. So you don't have to worry about paying for it. So, but yeah, if you want something that's a true exercise in patience and viewing and whatever else, I mean, it's like, you know, this makes Santa Claus versus the Martians look like a great coherent film. But yeah, Santa Claus meets the ice cream bunny. It's one of those movies I saw this, like, okay, the title is very interesting. I got to check it out. So I did a deep dive, doing a little bit of research before I watched the movie. And the deep dive was more fascinating than the movie itself. But when you pair them together, it is just like, it's an exercise in terrible filmmaking and, you know, enduring something to watch, but you also can't look away from it because it's like a car wreck.
Yeah.
But it involves Santa Claus and children.
I've been looking on Netflix the last little while, and Mel Gibson has been busy making the low budget films for Netflix, and Fat Man is one of them that came up, where he plays his Santa Claus. And
yeah, kind of predating Violent Night, which is in theaters right now. But yeah, it's basically kind of a angry Santa Claus, seeking revenge sort of thing like that. So, whereas Violent Night,
a little long in some areas where my husband's just like, okay, I'm bored, let's watch something else. And
yeah. So I think Violent Night's got a little more of an entertainment value. I haven't watched it yet, but from what I've heard and just seeing the trailer, whereas Fat Man's supposed to be like, this is a dead serious kind of movie. So a little humor may have improved it.
And maybe some proper editing too might go a long way. But no, maybe I'll try to watch it again. Just
one thing actually is it's not a Christmas movie by any means, but an import that's on Netflix right now called Troll.
Yes, I've been wanting to watch that one.
That's good. Okay. It's a Norwegian film. It's been dubbed into English, but this looks like it was like a major release in Norway because there's a budget on this movie. The CG on the troll himself looks great. The lore they get into of why the troll looks the way it does and it acts the way it does is just fantastic. So it's very much a Godzilla kind of sort of approach to it. But highly recommend seeing Troll on Netflix. It's a good flick. It's a lot of fun. Okay. So, well, with that, I think we're going to wrap up for the evening here. So, we've got plenty of things to give you inspiration to view because, of course, a lot of the stuff you actually can find on YouTube. So, and I definitely recommend checking out the Muppet Family Christmas clip. It's on YouTube, and if you could find the one that has the vintage commercials in it, that's a trip down memory lane right there. So if you grew up anywhere in the 80s, you're going to remember a lot of these commercials, a lot of candy commercials and stuff like that. But some really good stuff on there. So
more jingles to stick in my head for the rest of my life.
Well, jingles you forgot probably, and then they come back, or they'll come back to you when you start hearing them again. It's amazing how they work like that. So. Well, anyway, thank you very much for joining us on the Fanatic Forum once more here.
Anytime.
Love it. And a very happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you, ma'am.
You as well.
And I will see you later. All right, everybody. So, again, a very happy holidays to you guys out there. And we will see you, next week before we go into the new year. So, of course, before we get into the new year, we definitely got to plug a very important thing coming up next month, the Multiverse fundraiser coming up here, January 20th through the 22nd. So, of course, it's the fundraiser we put on here, the Back of the Sewer Box Network. So that's coming up. Got a lot of exciting guests. So we're going to have a little promo we'll show you for that. Then we're going to wrap things up for this week. So you guys take care, and we will see you next time on the Fanatic Forum. Bye-bye.
The Multiverse Fundraiser is a virtual fandom jamboree and a charity fundraiser all rolled into one package. We're not just raising funds for a good cause, we're raising fun. Our 2023 event will be supporting the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health, which exists to spread awareness of aortic health and prevent unnecessary suffering through genetic research, widespread education, and radical advocacy. Our fundraiser combines celebrity panels, fandom-based panels, indie creators, and all of the fun of a virtual con for free. There's a little something for everyone while we support a cause close to our heart. Join us on January 20th through 22nd, along with celebrity guests Amy Yazbek, Jason Bear, Chris Gaucher, Victor Garber, William Catt, Cress Williams, Beth Broderick, Armin Shimmerman, Guy Gilchrist, Carrie Schaefer, Brian Hull, Amy Carrero, Jennifer Cody, and Joyce DeWitt.